Jashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamunatiravanachari Yamunatiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatiravanachari Yamunatiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Om Vishnupada Brahmansa Privrajacharya Stotarstha Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhayacharana Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai ISKCON Founder Acharya BBT Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapurana Ki Jai Shri Shri Kishore Kishori Ki Jai Shri Gaura Bhakta Brinda Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna. All glories, Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Glories to you, Srila Prabhupada. So Hare Krishna. Welcome to this morning's Bhagavatam class from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 18. Lord Balaram slays the demon, Pralamsura. So please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamakyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guruho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sargajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitan Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Turubhascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhya Vaishnavebhya Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Paschati Deshatarine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shivarshabhanuvi Devi Deitaya Kripabdhaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhurya Jwala Premadhya Shirupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostate Namaste Gauravani Shimurte Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruddhapa Siddhanta Dvanta Harine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasa Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Purana Ki Jai Shri Shri Kishore Kishori Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. So please repeat after me. Kvachitcha dardura plavir Kvachitcha dardura plavir Vividhe upahasukehi Vividhe upahasakaihi Kadachit sandolikaya Kadachit syandolikaya Karhichin nripacheshtaya Karhichin nripacheshtaya Kvachitcha dardura plavir Vividhe upahasakaihi Kadachit sandalokaya Karhichin nripacheshtaya. Please repeat. Kadichet Sandulikaya Karhichin Nipacheshtaya Kvachitcha Dardura Plavir Vividher Pahasake Kadachit Sandulikaya Karhichin Nipacheshtaya Kvachitcha Dardura Plavir Vividher Pahasake Kadachit Sandulikaya Karhichin Nipacheshtaya Kvachitcha Dardura Plavir Vividher Upahasake Kadachit Sandilokaya Karhichin Nipacheshtaya Kvachitcha Dardura Plavir Vividher Upahasake Kadachit Sandilikaya Karhichin Nipacheshtaya Kvachit sometimes Cha and Dardura like frogs Plavehi with jumping Vividehi various Upahasakehi with jokes Kadachit I didn't come with my glasses, so I lost my verse. Just 1 minute. I'll be back again. Okay, sometimes. Sandolikaya with riding in savings. Sorry, with riding in swings. Karhichet and sometimes Nripacheshtaya with pretending to be kings. So translation, please repeat after me. They would sometimes jump around like frogs, sometimes play various jokes, sometimes ride in swings, and sometimes imitate monarchs. So purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains the word Nripacheshtaya as follows. In Vrindavan, there was a particular place on the riverbank where people who wanted to cross the Yamuna would pay a small tax. At times, the cowherd boys would assemble in this area and prevent the young girls of Vrindavan from crossing the river, insisting that they had to pay a customs duty first. Such activities were full of joking and laughter. Okay, now on the board we've got 2 verses. So generally when we have a purport we stop there. Is there a reason we have a second verse on there? Okay, it's just continuation, the same idea. Okay, all right. So the next verse is chapter 10, text 18. Canto 10, chapter 18, text 16. Evam to loka siddhadvihi kridhabhish cheraturvane nadyadri droni kunjeshu kunaneshu sarashu cha. Translation. In this way, Krishna and Balaram played all sorts of well-known games as they wandered among the rivers, hills, valleys, bushes, trees, and lakes of Vrindavan. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Tamal Krishna Goswami Nityananda. Hare Krishna. So, as we know, the 10th canto is described as the summum bonum canto, meaning that it has in it the essence of the whole Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, the Srimad Bhagavatam itself is the essence of all the Vedas. After Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa had compiled all of the Vedas, he still felt lack of satisfaction. He didn't feel satisfied. He felt there was something missing. He wasn't feeling good about it. So he approached his spiritual master, who then advised him that you've written so many things in the Vedas. You've given so many nice pastimes of Krishna and so many wonderful explanations of this world, and there's nothing you left out. Everything is there in the Vedas. Now, of course, we know that currently on this planet we only have 6% of the Vedas. 94% of it is not accessible to us because it was lost long ago. And but the Vedas themselves are very, very comprehensive. There's nothing that's not in the Vedas. No matter what subject matter you want to talk about, whether it's geography, history, chemistry, physics, you name it, political science, business, any subject, medicine, they're all contained in the Vedas. That was Vyasadeva. He compiled Vedas in such a way that there was nothing left out of it. Everything was there. And he particularly glorified Lord Krishna because that is the ultimate purpose of the Vedas. Krishna says, Sarvasya Riddhi Sannivishto Mataha Smitir Jnanam Apohanam Cha Vedesha Sarver Aham Eva Vedyaha Vedantakrit Vedavid Eva Chaham. That the purpose of the Vedas is to know Krishna. But he said, the thing that you did that was not right in all of this was that you spoke about Krishna, but you spoke about so many other things that people can become a little confused. What is most important here? They won't walk away with a clear message that the only thing that is important is to love Krishna. That the only thing that is important is pure devotional service to Krishna. People won't walk away with this. As we know, the Bhagavad Gita, when it's condensed into one sentence, can be described as the purpose of life is to engage in the loving devotional service of Sri Krishna, tolerating all kinds of impediments. That's like one sentence, whole Bhagavad Gita. Right? So in the same way, the Srimad Bhagavatam has a message that Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yate chamsa kalaha, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. That actually the purpose of life is to reconnect with Krishna, once again to connect with Krishna. So he said, what you did was, you diluted the message. And because you diluted the message, you're not happy. And this is so true in our lives. If we dilute our Krishna consciousness, we're not going to be happy. Many times I hear devotees saying, I'm not so happy. Prabhupada made a very strong statement. It's a very strong statement. When I first heard it, it took me a while just to absorb it, how he could say something like that. But his statement was, if you're not happy, means you're not Krishna conscious. If you're not happy, means you're not Krishna conscious. I think to myself, how can you be happy in this material world? It's a place of misery, a place of impermanence. Dukhale asashvatam, how can you be happy in this world? But Prabhupada's statement was like that. And so, over a period of time, speaking to others and getting realizations, this point came up that if I am not happy, it's because I'm diluting my Krishna consciousness. I'm not focusing on Krishna with the understanding that Lord Krishna is everything. In the Bhagavad Gita, there's a statement that's made, Yomam evam asamudo janati purushottamam sarvavid bhajati mam sarva bhavena bharata. The statement that's made is, one who knows Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, comma, without doubting, comma, is the knower of everything. Like that. So, and such a person engages in Krishna's loving devotional service with all of his or her heart and soul. All of his heart and soul, or her heart and soul. Like that. So Narada Muni told Vyasadeva, you need to write a summary, a conclusion to the Vedas, so that when people read that, they will understand, okay, this is the message. So that's when he wrote the Srimad Bhagavatam. So the Srimad Bhagavatam is actually about Krishna. The Vedas is about Krishna too, but written in such a way that it may look like it's not always about Krishna. Whereas the Bhagavatam is always about Krishna. Every part of it is about Krishna. In fact, there's a wonderful song that's sung by Sanatana Goswami, in which he describes the Srimad Bhagavatam. And in one of the verses, he says that every syllable in the Srimad Bhagavatam pours down a flood of Krishna Prema. Every syllable. I mean, how many syllables in the first line itself? Kwachit has 2 syllables. Cha is 1 more syllable. So how many syllables in a verse? Each syllable pours down a flood of Krishna Prema. Now, what's a flood? I mean, some of us, how many of you have experienced a flood, a real flood? Oh boy. Good, some of you have. It's an amazing thing when you have a flood. When you have a flood, nothing else matters but water. You're not going to be thinking anything else. But when is this water going to go away? When is this going to stop? It's like an ocean of water comes in and it just consumes you in every way. It, in fact, consumes people's lives to the extent that some of them even leave their bodies. That's a flood. A flood of Krishna Prema. A Krishna Prema that completely consumes you. I mean, that is the purpose of life. That is what everybody wants. It's just like if you tell a person who loves to drink liquor that there's an ocean of liquor out there and you can live on a planet where there's an ocean of liquor, what do you think that person's going to say? He says, I pray to God that I be born in my next life on that planet where there's an ocean of liquor. I can swim in the liquor. I can drink liquor all day long. I can sleep on the liquor. Because they're so happy to drink liquor. Krishna says, that I am the taste of liquid. So, this is why some people love liquor, because the taste of liquor is actually Krishna. It's actually Krishna. So people have so much taste for Krishna because that is the origin of everything. Sarvasya chaham riddhi sanavishto, Krishna says, Mata smritir jnanam aponam cha. And then he says, Aham sarvasya prabhavaha mattaha sarvam pravartate. That I am the original cause of everything, that actually we come from Krishna, just like a calf comes from a cow. So the calf is going to have the nature of the cow. Similarly, we emanate from Krishna. Mame vamsha jiva loka, jiva bhuta sanatana, Krishna says. Everyone comes from Krishna. We're his parts and parcels. Obviously, we're going to have the qualities of Krishna. Only thing is, we have it in minute degree. That's all. But we have the same qualities. We have exactly the same qualities. So, the Srimad Bhagavatam is about Krishna. Bhagavad Gita is Krishna speaking, and Srimad Bhagavatam is about Krishna. And in this subject matter of about Krishna, the 10th canto decants the whole essence of the whole Srimad Bhagavatam. So it's like the Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of the Vedas, right? It's the natural commentary on the Vedas, and the 10th canto is a natural commentary on the whole Srimad Bhagavatam. It's the essence of the essence. What is the essence of the essence? And here in this verse, every verse of the 10th canto brings out the essence. Here, in the essence, what is Krishna doing? Krishna is playing frog. You know, he's imitating animals. He is pretending to be a very royal person and playing games like this, right? And we would think, he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why would he do things like that? Those things people do in the material world. Ordinary people do that. Why would Krishna do that? Well, there's a huge difference when Krishna does it and we do it. When Krishna eats and we eat, there's a huge difference. Krishna can eat with his eyes. Krishna can eat with any part of his body. We can't. We have to eat through the mouth. Right? Krishna can sport with billions of Lakshmis simultaneously. Simultaneously sport with billions of Lakshmi. We can't even sport with one Lakshmi. Right? We try to sport. The men try to sport with one woman, and even that he can't handle that, right? Can't handle it. I'm a marriage counselor. This is my 43rd year as a marriage counselor. And I can honestly say there is not a husband on the planet who can honestly say that my wife does everything I want. You know, the topmost husband in this material world is Lord Shiva. There is no powerful husband than Lord Shiva on this planet. Of course, in this material world. Of course, we can say Lord Vishnu is also a great husband, but he doesn't play the role of a husband. Lord Shiva does. Vishnu, you don't see having association with Lakshmi, and then children were born, and these are the names of the children. With Lord Shiva, we see that. He had two sons, Kartikeya and Ganesh. Kartikeya being the elder one. But even Lord Krishna or Lord Shiva cannot control Parvati. They say, not they say, this is a fact, that the best husband and wife are 70% compatible. The best. And that's Lord Shiva and Parvati. Everybody else is some way down there. Way down there. Most of us are way down there. So we cannot handle even one, men cannot handle one lady, right? But here Krishna is handling so many Lakshmis. These are not ordinary persons, by the way. These gopis are not ordinary. These gopis are so powerful. They can do anything Krishna can do. They can do also. They're so powerful. They're the topmost of all personalities. In fact, Krishna considers them his guru. His gurus. That's how powerful these gopis are. And billions of these Lakshmis actually sport with Krishna. So this is the power of Krishna. So, in the 10th canto here, when Krishna is playing frog with his friends, this is not ordinary playing frog with friends, by the way. Okay? Because every living entity that is on this planet has a combination of desires. We are born according to our desires and our, what we call proclivities or our nature. Guna karma vibhagasha, it says. So, what desires we have and our nature in our previous life determines our next life. Like that. So, frogs have a nature. Can anybody tell me what frogs like doing? They like talking, definitely. They call it croaking, but for them it's talking. It's like, some of us, you can't get off this thing, right? You're on the phone all the time, talking. So yeah, frogs love talking a lot. What else do they like doing? They like hopping, that's true. Who else hops? Amongst humans, who hops? Humans talk, that everybody knows. Who hops amongst humans? Huh? Who hops? Come on, man, you guys know that. I see people hopping every day here. I mean, when I'm here. Huh? Devotees hop all the time. You're jumping up and down, you're hopping, right? That's a hop, right? If you jump up and down, that's hopping, right? Devotees hop all the time in dancing, don't they? Don't they? Yes, dancers hop. Who else hops? Huh? Basketball players hop all the time. They get paid to hop, by the way. They get paid more money than some businessmen make in a whole year to hop. Okay? Who else hops? Sporting people, right? Like those people who do the Olympics. They are hopping matches. You become the top hopper in the world, right? You hop the highest. Or in 3 jumps, you hop the most. Hop, skip, and jump, like they say, right? So, okay. What else do frogs like doing? Huh? Yeah, they love eating. They've got nice long tongues. They go zap, and the food's right in their mouth. I mean, we have to sort of we can't zap with our tongue the food in, right? Imagine we could have a plate and just zap food near with the tongue. We have to pick it up, put it in. So frogs have something else. The frog really outdoes us in every way. Swimming, good. Frogs love swimming. They can swim. They have 2,000 children in one delivery. How many children can we deliver in one delivery? Humans. The maximum's gone to is 8. And you hang your tongue out like a dog after that. You hang your tongue out of a dog like a dog even after one delivery. One child being delivered. Frogs deliver 2,000 babies at a time. Okay? That tells you how powerful they are, right? They definitely beat us on that score. They beat us big time, right? We can't even have 2,000 children, what to speak of one delivery. Whole life you can have children, you'll still not end up with 2,000 children, right? It's not possible. And there in one delivery, they deliver 2,000 children. So we can see Krishna has given this capacity to the dog, to the frog, right? Such a powerful capacity Krishna has given to the frogs. So when Krishna is playing frog, all these types of desires are being played out. The desire to have children, the desire to enjoy with children, the desire to eat, the desire to dance, their desire to sing, because the frogs, their croaking is like singing. We have those desires, right? All of us can say some of those desires are very, very essential to us. It's very critical to us, right? So when Krishna plays frog with his friends, all these desires are heightened to the highest level. Now, obviously, the food here is very nice, right? Prasadam is great. But you can't compare to Prasadam in Golok Vrindavan. I mean, Prasadam in Golok Vrindavan is something else. Just smelling the food in Golok Vrindavan will give you, bliss beyond belief. Like that. Your hair will start standing on you like porcupine pills. Just smelling it. That's how relishable the food there is. And do you think the gopas like eating? Yeah, the gopas love eating. When Krishna takes the cows and the calves to the forest and then brings them back, the gopas are generally pretty hungry, So Krishna will go to his mother and say, please make a nice feast so we can all have a nice feast. And so Mother Yashoda will ask Radharani and her gopi friends to cook some nice feast, and they'll cook a knockout feast, and the boys will have a knockout feast and roll on the ground and laugh and joke and do things like that. They're so happy. So the gopas like that. So in everything that you do, there are elements of it that we love. That's why we love the things that we love doing, right? Like give an example of something that we love doing on this planet. People love doing on this planet. Social media, okay. Social media. And so what happens in social media? Huh? You can? Interact. Oh yeah, okay. So you're relating with people. You relate with people through the social media. Okay, good. Yep. Relating with people. And relating people is important or not important? Critical, right? Vital to relate with people. What else happens on social media? Huh? Photography, yeah. You get to see nice pictures, videos, right? Right? There's so much you can see. People love cartoons and videos and photographs, and especially if it's about themselves, they really love seeing it on social media, right? Okay. Yeah. What else happens on social media? A little louder. Social media is promoting, what was the first word? Jealousy, pride. Yeah, jealousy. I don't think people are looking forward to jealousy. But yeah, they're looking for business, you're right, making money. A lot of people, yeah. They're not really promoting jealousy. What they're promoting is happiness through jealousy. That's what happens. People think that if I show jealousy, I'll become happy. So they're really promoting happiness. Yeah. So social media promotes happiness. Social media. I mean, whether it does it correctly or not is not the argument here. The point is that anything on this planet will do things. Why do people do things? It's because the things that it creates, the elements are in that item. You can see through social media there was happiness, there's money, there is friendship, there is videos, there is entertainment, there's education. So many things happen, and it's all under social media. You get the idea? All right. So when Krishna does anything, Krishna's activities are all lila. They're always lila. There's amazing, amazing things happen in that. And the beauty of Krishna's lila is that when these things happen, they happen according to each person's taste, which is not the case on social media, right? You might see a photograph on social media and you think, I don't like that photograph. But when you relate with Krishna in Leela, everything that's happening, even though there may be billions of Lakshmis having Leela with Krishna, each of them in their personal nature is being fully satisfied simultaneously. It's like, imagine, say for example, there are 300 languages on this planet, right? And imagine I'm speaking and then everybody is hearing in 300 different languages. I mean, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? I'm speaking and people hear in their own language what I'm saying. Not with any, um, you know, any translation device or any contraption or any, equipment or anything outside of my voice. Just my voice has that capacity. And by the way, Bhagavad Gita is written like that. Bhagavad Gita is written in a language called Parakshavad. In Parakshavad means that whoever reads the Bhagavad Gita will hear a message directly from Krishna to that person who's reading. How many of us have noticed that when we read the Bhagavad Gita, we sometimes get answers to the questions we are thinking of, and we think, wow, I'm amazed. I was just thinking about this, and here it is saying, it's giving me the answer right now. That's because Krishna is speaking to each and every one of us as we're reading the Bhagavad Gita. That is why in book distribution, what do we say to people? Just put the Bhagavad Gita in the hand of the person. Right? The best way to distribute the book is not to try and tell them, would you like to buy a book? No. Just put the book in their hand first. Let them touch the book. Let them see the book. If they've seen the book, they've seen Krishna. If they've touched the book, they have Krishna in their hand. What do you think the effect will be? It'll be an amazing effect, right? And by the way, for those of us who are book distributors, if you didn't know this already, and for those of us who are not book distributors, you're really missing out big time. Okay? When you give a Bhagavad Gita to anybody, everything that that person will do from that point to eternity that gives that person credit will come to you. How do you like that? That's the fastest way to get credit, right? So if you happen to give a Bhagavad Gita copy to Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada became Srila Prabhupada, then everything that Srila Prabhupada did comes to your credit. What does that mean? You get the idea? We should be distributing these books very, very profusely. There's no greater benefit that we can get than this. Of course, there are other things that are important. For example, if children are in our lives, We need to take care of our children because these children, Prabhupada said, if a son comes to your house, to your home, you should know Krishna has come personally. If a daughter comes, you should know Radharani has come. How would Mother Yashoda and Nanda Baba look after Krishna? How would Mother Kirti the Sundari and Vrishabhanu Maharaj look after Radharani? You look after them like that. That's what Prabhupada said. They become more important than even our deities. By the way, this is a statement from the deities themselves. So it's not like we are downgrading the deities in any way. So these are some very important things we do in our lives. All of this is actually meant to be Leela. And Leela has only one purpose, and the purpose is pure bliss. Pure ecstasy. That is the purpose of Leela. And the pure ecstasy is meant to be felt by each one of us individually. We're individuals. Mamevamsha jiva loka, jiva bhuta, sanatanaha, it says. Why the word sanatana is used? Because we are eternally individual. We don't merge. What we merge in is in terms of quality, but not in terms of quantity. We're always individuals, eternally individual. The soul is indestructible. It is amazing. Every soul is amazing. Even the bugs on the floor here that we cannot see right now. And by the way, there are millions and billions of bugs on this floor. That's why some people don't like to pay obeisances. So they think, oh, the bug's going to get in my nose. Bug's going to touch my head. I'm going to bugs all over my body. But there are bugs over everybody's body anyway. If you take a nice magnifying glass, what do you call them? Those microscopes, and put it over your body, you will see every square inch of your body has thousands and thousands of bugs crawling on you. So please, the body is a disease over the soul. If bugs don't go on disease, what else do you think they're going to go on? Right? And we decorate the body and we think, I'm so beautiful, I'm so handsome. Let me look at myself once more in the mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall. But the thing is that this Leela has been arranged by Krishna in the 10th canto. By the way, how long is this class supposed to go? What is the 8:30? Thank you. So these Leelas are arranged by Krishna to show us that everything to its minute detail is very important in relation to Krishna. Because sometimes people hear the statement that only Krishna is important. Only Krishna is, oh, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna all the time. And they think, but what about me? What about my, better half or my soulmate or whoever else may be involved, my dog, my cat, my boss, my whoever. Generally not the boss. Nobody thinks about their boss in very good terms, generally speaking. Very, very rarely that happens. The point is that when connected to Krishna, each and every detail becomes exalted to the highest degree. So everything we want, all the tastes that we have, if we do it in relation to Krishna's Leela, then that is important. Like, for example, one thing we are told that what we do and the animals do are the same things. What are those 4 things? Yeah. Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Prabhupada clearly says in the Srimad Bhagavatam that the devotee also does eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Only thing is, the non-devotee is doing material eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, and the devotee is doing spiritual eating, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Right? We also eat. We eat prasadam. We also take rest, don't we? And what happens in our rest? What is supposed to happen in our rest that makes it very good spiritual rest? Yeah, we should have dreams of something spiritual. Some devotee comes in a dream, something spiritual happens in a dream, because our consciousness is tested by our dreams. What we see in our dreams is our state of consciousness. So if we're seeing spiritual things in our dreams, that means that we are becoming spiritualized. And mating. Mating means actually having children, right? That's the purpose of mating, to have children. So how do we have more children? What do devotees do to have more children? Some of them get married and have children, actually. But that's not the major way devotees have children. How do devotees have children? Devotees actually make devotees. They go out and preach. They reach out to others. Amara Gyaye Guru Hana. Tarai Desh. Jarita ke tarikaha Krishna Upadesh. That's the number one instruction of Lord Chaitanya. It is my order. He doesn't even say instruction. You know? Amara agyaya guru hana. Agyaya means not instruction, it means order. Everybody must become guru. What does it mean to become guru? It means that one should be Krishna conscious and one should serve others so that they can also become Krishna conscious. That's what it means to be guru. Guru means one who trains other gurus. Guru also means one who is pregnant with love of God. Like that. So we also do mating, and we have mates, right? We have friends all the time in Krishna consciousness. They're all friends, great friends. We make really good friends. How many of us can say some of our best friends were made after we joined Hare Krishna? It's a fact. It's a fact. And these friends are really good friends. And then defending. Defending means maintaining things, doing things in a way that great resources are available in our lives. So what do devotees do in that sense? What do devotees do? They're on projects like this, right? We're creating all the time. We're creating resources all the time. These deities are being dressed. Where do the dresses come from? Where does the jewelry come from? Where does the food come from? These resources are being generated all the time inside ISKCON. In every temple, in every center. What to speak of every center? And every devotee is raising resources all the time, creating resources all the time. That's defense. So the devotees are doing the same thing. So really, understand Krishna consciousness means we want enjoyment, but we want enjoyment at the exalted level, not at the poor level. We don't want fake diamonds. We want real diamonds. That's what this story is about. This is the verse that is trying to tell us that that's what Krishna wants too. He wants us to have the best of the best of the best experiences in life. And every word, every syllable in the Srimad Bhagavatam has only one purpose, and that is how can Krishna's children, we are all Krishna's children. Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita. Aham bija pradapitaha. I am the seed-giving father of every living entity, including the bug on the floor. Krishna is the father. Now, how many of us are parents here? Hands up, parents? Okay. How many parents with children? Hands up. Okay. So, when the parents have children, do they want their children to do less than they did in their life? The same as they did in their life? Or more than they did in their life? Which do you think the parents want? More. And are parents in this world very secure? Are they very secure parents? No worries, I can take care of any situation. Nothing can go wrong in my life. Do you think that's what's happening in parents' lives? Absolutely not. Parents are also going through challenges. They're having difficulties also. They're also insecure. So if insecure parents who have difficulties in their lives, always facing challenges, still want their children to do greater than them, Krishna is completely secure, right? He's not insecure. He can do anything he wants at any time. Why would he not want his children to do better than him? Now, generally, when a business is competing with another business, does it want its competitor to do better than it, equal to it, or less than it? Yeah, there you go. Why? Because there is no love. There's no love. When you love somebody, it means you want that person to do much greater than you have done in your life. You want them to experience things that you have not experienced and to be completely exalted and ecstatic in their life. And that's what Krishna wants. And every syllable of the Srimad Bhagavatam is meant for that purpose. And only for that purpose. That's why Krishna is playing frog. He's thinking, you think a frog is insignificant? Let me show you. I play frog myself. I'm the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I play frog. How can you call the frog insignificant now? And it also says he played frog, and then who else did it say he played? How did it end? Played with who? It says like royalty, right? What was the word that was used? Let me look it up here. Okay, so he says that he played, where are we? 15. He played sometimes imitate monarchs. So who are monarchs? There's royalty, right? royalty. Krishna is playing frog. And what do we think of frogs in this world? Very insignificant creature. Krishna is playing monarch. What do you think of monarchs? They're the greatest. From the lowest to the highest, from our point of view, Krishna loves all of them equally. There is nobody who is less important. Every person is most important as far as Krishna is concerned. And we learn that lesson, that everyone is child of Krishna, therefore everybody is most important. And if we learn that the only purpose is to connect with Krishna so that we can be exalted in our experiences, then we made it in Krishna consciousness. Then you're never going to be unhappy. Because you realize Krishna is always with us. When is Krishna not with us? He's sitting with us in our hearts as Paramatma. He's always with us in the form of devotees, always with us in the form of the books, always with us in the form of prasadam, always with us in all forms of experiences. Krishna is always with us. In the form of guru, etc. Like that. Krishna is with us. And if we see everybody nicely, then they will relate with us nicely too. Right? People reciprocate. If you're nice to people, people are generally going to be nice to you. They're not going to be rough with you. And even if they are rough with you, that's good. You get some contrast, right? You need some contrast too. If you have no contrast and everybody's nice, it becomes pretty dull. Things are going to become very dull. If there's no nighttime, daytime would not be considered a great time of the day, okay? Because there's no nighttime. Nighttime contrasts the day. So misery contrasts happiness. So once in a while, you need a little bit of misery so you can get a little bit of a contrast. Then it's more clear. Just like when jewelers are selling jewelry, they put their jewelry on a mannequin, right? What is the color of that mannequin? Dark blue, right? Dark blue, dark red, dark color. Why? So the jewelry will shine on the mannequin, the details will show, and the Maharaji who goes up to buy the jewelry will feel, I must have that jewelry. I'm saying Maharajis, men also do that. So you see the contrast? And Radharani says that's the value of misery, that it contrasts Krishna Prema. And now Krishna Prema shines right and forth. How many of us can say that the reason we feel Krishna consciousness is really good because it really contrasts with the material life outside, right? It really contrasts. We don't want that. So many times I tell people who are devotees and I say to them, if I give you $10 billion, will you give up your Krishna consciousness and go back to material life? Not one devotee raises their hand and says, yeah, I'll take the $10 billion. And yet out there, $10 billion would be great money, right? That would be a lot of money. Many generations could survive off $10 billion, or to speak of one generation. And yet the devotee doesn't want that. Why? Because they have experienced something higher. They've got a higher taste after they came to Krishna consciousness. And that is why these verses are written. And this verse particularly actually exemplifies that. Of course, the next verse talks about he does that with Lord Balaram, who himself is a very, very powerful person. The word Balaram means the greatest enjoyer, the most powerful enjoyer. You can see how Krishna is always keeping the symbolism around him, you know. It's all about having fun. It's all about ecstasy. It's all about bliss. It's all about Ananda. Hare Krishna. I'm going to stop here. Ask if any of you'd like to ask a question or say something. Yes, Prabhu, now I'll come to you. You have a mic here so others can hear the question. Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Yep.
Welcome back to Chicago.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
You made this very interesting point about Lord Shiva and Parvati and how their relationship is the topmost relationship in the material world, and even there, the husband can control the wife. And we also hear from Prabhupada that the relationships in the spiritual world are the archetypes of perfection in relationship.
Yes.
And what we experience here are like the mundane reflections. So I was just thinking to myself, can we extract principles for how to have good human relationships from the models that we see in the spiritual world? And what are some of those things we can extract from what we see in the spiritual world? Right? Just like I assume, like little kids, if little kids play frog together, they're all happy. But it's when they start fighting over things, that's when, but you never see that in the spiritual world. Krishna and the Gopas never fight over things. So they never squibble like kids do in the material world. So I was just thinking about this point you were making about comparing husband-wife relationships to Parvati and Lord Shiva, and maybe we can extract some things from spiritual relationships to have better relationships in the material world.
Thank you. That's a good question. So, how to extract from the spiritual experiences, the spiritual world, things that would help us improve our relationships here. And we see that happen amongst devotee husband and wives, right? Often you see between husband and wives who are devotees, because everything is done with Krishna as the center, their marriage becomes a very, very powerful marriage, you know? They're very nice children, the children are also very Krishna conscious, and both the husband and wife are very happy, and happily engaged in Krishna consciousness, and they relate with each other nicely because they can see they're supporting each other in their Krishna consciousness, and Krishna is becoming happier because they're becoming doubly empowered to do their service nicely and to live a very happy life, a real happy life. I can say that there is no doubt about it that there are many devotees who have a better relationship than Lord Shiva has with his wife. It is true. It does happen. But then that's because they've moved themselves out of the paradigm of material life to spiritual life. So they're already practicing the spiritual world here in the material world. You see what I'm saying? So if we can do that, in everything we should do that. Whether it's business, politics, anything, we should bring the spiritual context into the material world. And if we do that, it'll become ideal. It'll become perfect. And then you're right. Then everybody will feel very good about it and they'll look up to it and they'll say, we want to be like that. You know? It actually happens. This actually happens. This is why we say that when we're matching boys and girls together to get married in devotees, amongst devotees, one of the key things we want to make sure that they're both doing is they're both nicely engaged in Krishna consciousness. If they're nicely engaged, their marriage is going to go very well. Because they will see how the marriage is helping them improve the quality of the service in the engagement. Say, for example, they're book distributors, and both of them are book distributors. You see what I mean? Book distributors going out, a team of husband and wife going out book distribution. Do you see advantage in that? It's a huge advantage. Do you see an advantage in a husband and wife going out distributing books together? Yes. Because most people out there are in couples, right? They're grihasthas, they're family people. They like to see people together like that. They'll walk up to them and say, oh, nice to see two of you together. People like to see people together. People always breaking apart. Well, they like to see people coming together too. So you can see that, in every way, grihastha life in Krishna consciousness is ideal living. It's actually the best way to advance in Krishna consciousness in many ways. Thank you. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
thank you very much for your class and
Thank you.
giving us your association. You were mentioning Krishna consciousness. Every syllable is like an ocean of happiness and love of God. There's a nice verse in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 2, verse 49. I had probably make sure it was correct. It says, love of God is like an ocean of happiness. If someone gets one drop of it, the whole world can drown in that drop. And I really love that verse. And I have a question regarding regarding this point, because there's an analogy that by Gaur Govinda Maharaj that I first heard, but this is actually a verse in the 11th canto of Bhagavatam. Unfortunately, I can't, the Nava Yogendra passage, I can't reference it now. Unfortunately, I could. But it basically says that sometimes we receive an ocean of mercy. And this ocean, our consciousness is like a pot. It basically says, but if there's a crack in the pot, even though we're receiving so much mercy, it pours out. And so there's many pastimes like Hiranyakashipu. It's described that he had control over 99.9% of the universe. Only 1.1% of the universe he didn't have control over. Prahlad in his kindergarten class. Same with Daksha, 99.9% of the universe glorified him. Only one person didn't, Lord Shiva. So that's my question. Sometimes we could receive an ocean of honor from devotees, 99.9%. But one person may disagree with us, criticize us, ignore, dishonor us, and that's enough to take away 100% of our happiness. So how can we keep things in perspective? Because there's so many things in the material world, like go to Syria, see how we would feel there. Then that's one thing I try to. How can we be grateful for devotees when there's so much things going right in our life, but we focus on one small thing that goes wrong, and blown out of proportion. So how can we reprogram our brain
Yeah.
to be
So
grateful?
there are two parts to it. I'm going to start with the part that deals with complete satisfaction. So complete satisfaction requires complete satisfaction. So if one person is not happy, it will bother us. You see what I'm saying? So don't be surprised that it does bother us because it's natural that that'll happen. You see what I'm saying? And then as far as how do we keep it in perspective is concerned, is that we as human beings go through three different levels, right? At the lowest level, it's all about me. Everything's about me. It's, me-centeredness, right? Then when we advance and we become more elevated in our consciousness, then we become us oriented. It's not only about me, but it's me and others as well. So it's us oriented now. You see what I'm saying? So it rises to that. Then when it rises even higher than to the highest level of consciousness, it's all them oriented. It's all about them. It's not about me and us, it's about them. Right? So we can see how Prabhupada actually brought the them part in. We had devotees, we had this situation where we have a temple, we have an ashram, so many devotees staying in the ashram, right? In the earlier stages. And all of them were doing what? They're going out doing Sankirtan, right? They had so many austerities that they accepted personally, right? Even as a group, they accepted austerities. An example was they would have one hamper, and the men would throw all their dhotis in that one hamper, and then everybody came and picked up one dhoti each to wear it. And sometimes a tall guy would get a short dhoti, or a short guy would get a tall dhoti. Type of thing would happen, right? But nobody thought about it. Why? Because the focus was, let's go out there and give an opportunity so the others can become Krishna conscious. They were them oriented. You see what I'm saying? When you are them oriented, then no matter how many difficulties you have in your life, don't matter. Because your focus is not your difficulties, your focus is others' difficulties now. So this is the fastest way to become a happy Hare Krishna, is actually to become them oriented. Always be thinking about others. What can I do for others that can make them happy? And what I can do is not to go to them and say, if you don't chant Hare Krishna, you go to hell. That's not the correct thing to say to somebody. That's the wrong answer. The first thing you do whenever you meet someone is to inquire, how are they doing in their life? How's it going for them? What's happening? Hear their story. Listen to them. Empathize with them. Be with them. And then show them, here's a person who can actually give you everything. Please, come to know this person. Show some love in your heart. Just say, I love you. That's all. You say, I love you to Krishna. That's everything. That's all Krishna wants to hear. I love you. Just like we sometimes do that to ourselves, right? We say, I love you, I love you, I love you. And the other person feels very happy knowing that you love me. I mean, that's if it's real love, not, sometimes we just say, I love you. It's all lip service. It's not real down in the heart type, love you type situation. But real love is what we're talking about here. You see what I'm saying? So when we become this type of them-oriented persons, then this whole issue of, even though I have so much mercy, I still feel something lacking and things like won't happen. In fact, we will see, I got too much mercy. I need to distribute it to others. You know what I mean? Imagine I had hundreds of billions of dollars. What am I going to do with $100 billion? Eat 1,000 chapatis at a time? Sleep in 15 beds at the same time? Live in 100 houses at the same time? Take a shower in 15 bathrooms at the same time? What am I going to do with all that money? So I might share that money with others so that they can be happy as well. Right? So that's mercy. Even a drop of mercy, you just said, even a drop of mercy is more than an ocean of love of Krishna. Because each of those drops contains in it an ocean of love of Krishna. A drop of mercy from Krishna or Krishna's pure devotee has that much potency in it. So we've got lots of drops of mercy. The problem is not the mercy here. It's not that I haven't got the mercy. The problem is I'm not dealing with it properly. I'm not utilizing it. It's like, say, for example, somebody gives me a beautiful diamond. It's a 150 carat diamond, right? Which, by the way, worth a lot of money. And I use it to crack walnuts. Think to myself, wow, this is a great walnut cracker, man. I crack walnuts with it. And I break the diamond down. It's no longer 150 carat now. You know what I mean? That's not a smart way of using the diamond. You see what I'm saying? So people don't recognize the value of their Krishna consciousness, and certainly don't recognize the value of their of their personal life, human life, and that's why we make these types of mistakes. This is why devotee association is good, because in the association we learn these things. That I already have more than I ever need. I already have that. Now, what am I going to do with it is the big issue. If I use it in the right way, then it'll multiply. This is the beauty of Krishna consciousness. What goes around comes around, multiplied. In the material world, we say what goes around comes around. But in Krishna consciousness, we say what goes around comes around, multiplied. So if you really want to multiply something, spread the mercy. Spread it out. That's why Sankirtan is the most powerful thing that we can do. All right? Thank you, Prabhu. Mataji's, any questions? Some of you guys are shy, don't ask. No? Very good. So now we'll have some prasad. By the way, today's initiations for Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj's disciples, that's going to start at what time? What time? 10 o'clock, right? So you'll all be fasting, I guess, until those who are taking initiation will be fasting for that. The rest of us who are taking prashadam, I think prashadam will be served out downstairs. Is there prashadam downstairs? Yes? Huh? Say it again. Yes. It's served after 9. So we have good time to chant Hare Krishna or anything else. Anybody has any final questions that we can? So what happens between 8:30 and 9 then? What's the plan here in Chicago? Generally in Dallas, they start with prashadam immediately, so people like to leave. I guess people chant here or something like that, right? They chant or have darshan of the deities or whatever. Okay, thank you very much. Vanchakalpa Tirubhascha, Kripasindubhya Evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhya, Vaishnavebhya, Namo Namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnava Brindaki Jai. Shri Gaura Bhakta Brindaki Jai. Shri Shri Kishore Kishori Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.